Good afternoon. So today I'm talking about the Centaurs. There are many different species of magical creature in the world of Harry Potter, but there are few that are as complex or deep as the Centaurs. They were also largely neglected in the Harry Potter films, unfortunately. I mean, we did see them, but they weren't like what we got in the books at all, not by a long shot. In the first book, we got an insight into the political and philosophical differences within the Centaur community when the Centaur Firenze had an argument with the Centaur Bane about Firenze rescuing Harry from Voldemort in the forest and carrying him on his back. Firenze indicates to Bane that he was just saving Harry from Voldemort, but Bane is not impressed and he doesn't think that Centaurs should be getting involved in wizard problems. Now, in the first film, we did see Firenze save Harry in the forest, but that was it. Several years later, the same Centaur Firenze takes Trelawney's place at Hogwarts as the divination teacher when she is sacked by Dolores Umbridge. Now, Centaurs are extremely wise, and during Firenze's lessons in the books, we get an insight into how deep and astrologically minded the Centaurs are. They spend a lot of their time looking at the stars and planets and drawing conclusions from them. They're extremely wise and knowledgeable, having much greater and deeper insight into what's going on and what lays in the future than wizard kind do, or at least that's what the Centaurs say. Now, at the end of the fifth book, when Harry and Hermione trick Umbridge into following them into the forest, the Centaurs argue with Umbridge when she threatens them, telling her that they do not accept her or the Ministry's authority and that the forest belongs to them. The Centaurs clearly have deep misgivings about the Ministry and wizards in general. After they've taken Umbridge, they then argue amongst themselves about what to do with Harry and Hermione, until Hagrid's half-brother Grawp turns up and they become somewhat distracted with him, which allows Harry and Hermione to escape. Sadly, in the fifth Harry Potter film, we never really got to see Firenze teaching divination, and whilst we did see the Centaurs attack Umbridge and take her away and fight against Grawp, I'm pretty sure we don't actually hear them utter a single word in these exchanges. It's a bit of a disservice, as specifically the Order of the Phoenix film kind of just makes the Centaurs seem like these beast-like, slightly primitive creatures of the forest who just attacked Umbridge for the sake of it. Whereas the reality is that they were proud, deep, and extremely knowledgeable creatures. They attacked Umbridge as she was insulting them, and they did not accept wizard-kind's authority over them, which is fair enough, really. Also, Umbridge is enough to drive anyone to madness, let's be honest. The point I'm trying to make is the films did not really do credit to the complexity and depth of these creatures. They are physically powerful, they have strong values, and they have a deep understanding of events, past and future. They would actually be powerful allies to wizard kind, but sadly they do not involve themselves in wizard wars, as they see themselves sort of more important and too clever to get involved in such things. They have pretty much no respect for wizards, to be honest, with the exception of Hagrid and Dumbledore. In fact, speaking of Dumbledore, the Centaurs actually turn up at Dumbledore's funeral in the sixth book to pay tribute to him, something else we never saw in the films. In honour of the Centaurs' desire not to get involved in wizard wars, the Centaurs stay resolutely out of the Battle of Hogwarts at the end of the seventh book. Only at the very end of the battle, when it appears that Harry has actually been killed, do they eventually turn up to assist in the battle against Voldemort and the Death Eaters. They presumably decided that Voldemort was such a dick that they may as well take a side. As I say, the Centaurs have a complicated political relationship with wizards, and they have deep philosophies and wisdoms, but it seems that HBO will be doing them the justice that they deserve. I'm guessing so anyway, because they announced a couple of months ago that Jake Curran would be playing the Centaur Ronan in the series. Now, Ronan is basically the older, wiser Centaur that is there in the first book when Firenze rescues Harry. Ronan basically sticks up for Firenze against Bane, who is the Centaur that is arguing with Firenze, and Ronan tells Bane that he is sure that Firenze was only doing what he thought was the right thing to do. Ronan's definitely one of the older, more authoritative Centaurs in the group, but the fact that they have cast Ronan in the show means they will definitely be casting Firenze and Bane, if they haven't already, which sort of indicates to me that they will be doing justice to the Centaurs' subplots and various scenes that they appear in the books, which I genuinely think can only be a good thing. They're actually a really cool part of the Harry Potter world, and they have a lot to add to the story, so it was kind of a shame that overall the films basically disregarded them completely. It's not really personal to them though, to be fair. The films also kind of did the same thing with the House Elves and the Goblins too. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, drop it a like and subscribe to the channel for more.